Welcome back to another installment of High Five. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. Today, we're going to be looking back at the first episode of High Five when we were talking about 5 things that I want to see in this season of The Walking Dead. Now, the mid-season finale has just wrapped up, and holy crap, what an ending. If you did not see that ending and you don't watch The Walking Dead, oh, you missed out on something. We're probably going to get into some spoilers here, so if you have not seen the season finale, then definitely go back, watch it. But don't say I didn't warn you when it comes to spoilers. So I went back and I watched that episode of High Five just to see what I said for my predictions. So let's get into them right now. Did any of these happen within the first half of the season? The first one that I predicted is that I wanted to see more of Negan's backstory. That was kind of a yes, kind of a no. Well, let's get into it. So in the first episode of this season, we see Rick and everybody from the hilltop, from Alexandria, from the kingdom, all converge on the compound of the Saviors, open fire, and start letting walkers into the compound. Or around the compound, actually. So, what we saw a few episodes later is, well, at the end of that episode, we saw Father Gabriel and Negan get confined to the same space with this overrun of walkers. So for a couple of weeks, we didn't know what was going on. So it was like, okay, what can we get back to Negan and Father Gabriel, please? Like, that would be much appreciated. So about 2 or 3 episodes later, we finally get that. We finally get an exchange between Negan and Father Gabriel as they're talking. You had Father Gabriel run into a different room after distracting Negan, and they just start talking. And we get a little bit of Negan's backstory. He talks about being married before the apocalypse happened. But we don't get too much. So they might keep that for the second half of this season. So we got a little bit of it, not a lot. Not enough for me, I should say. But we might get that in the second half of this season. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed about that. Just having a look at my list here from what I said. The second thing I predicted was that Jadis would get killed or something bad would happen to her. No. So I think it was about episode 6, I think it was, when we finally saw Jadis and the Scavengers return in the most weird fashion imaginable, sitting down naked sculpting. I don't know. But anyway, Rick goes to see him. Stupid Rick. Stupid. And then gets imprisoned. Gets his clothes taken away from him. Jadis is walking around in his boots, but nothing happens to her. The only thing that happens is Rick and Jadis has a bit of a scuffle in episode 7, and that's it. They bring out another walker to replace the Shredder walker, I call him, from last season, and it was going to bite Rick. So Rick handles the situation with it, completely naked, except for a pair of boxer shorts, which I think are the same boxer shorts he wore in the first episode of the series. And with his hands tied, he beats everybody, rips off a head of a walker, and finally gets Jadis to acquiesce to his demands. But, the season's not over yet. I think Jadis is going to flip again, and I think that's when Jadis is going to get what's coming to her, and she deserves it. Like, honestly and truthfully, she deserves it. That's my opinion. Looking at the list, the next thing that I said is Dwight with Rick and is Eugene with Negan? Yes and maybe. So in the mid-season finale, Dwight finally does something to help Rick's group. I still don't trust Dwight. I still don't like him. He still needs to die. That's, you have all these people. I saw the reaction videos. It was like, oh, Dwight, good Dwight, yay, Dwight, I like Dwight. No, I still hate Dwight. He still needs to die for what he did to Denise. But anyway, this confirms that Dwight is solidly behind Rick. Okay, whatever. I'll live with that for now until Daryl can put an arrow through his head. But I'm not so sure about Eugene. because he was having all these issues, personal crises, during the season, during the first half of this season. You know, you think he's with Negan because I'm totally behind Negan. I'm totally Negan. And then you just saw him turn in the season finale, or the mid-season finale, and now he's like trying to help Father Gabriel, who is now down and out with some sort of mystery illness. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Eugene in the second half of this season. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know what's going to happen to Dwight, but it looks like Dwight is solidly behind Rick. Okay, fine. Do what you got to do, and then put that asshole down, like once and for all. Don't know what's going to happen with Eugene. As a bit of a sidebar, Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene, has been getting a lot of unnecessary hate. And I really hate hearing about that. He plays a character on TV. Don't be getting on his case just because of a character. If you can't separate real life from TV, maybe you should step away for a while and go outside. I can separate real life from TV, you know. I know Josh McDermott is not Eugene, just like I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan isn't Negan. You know, I make no bones about it. I'm a huge professional wrestling fan. I know that someone like Alexa Bliss isn't the same character she plays on TV. On TV, she is this snooty, better than you. Well, not snooty, but arrogant, egotistical. Thinks she's better than everyone else. Where really away from the ring, away from the arena, she's just a total sweetheart. It was like the same way with Charlotte Flair. You know, her character was pretty much the same way. Egotistical, born better than everyone else because my father's Ric Flair. Away from the ring, she is a total doll, total sweetheart. So it really upsets me when I hear shit like this. You know, Josh McDermott getting death threats because of a character he plays on TV. You really need to set your priorities straight, people. That's... All right, well, let's get back to the list. And the next one that I had was that Carl will step up. He stepped up all right. Okay, spoiler alert for the end of the mid-season finale. If you have not watched it yet, plug your ears. If you have watched it yet, you know what I'm talking about. Oh! Okay. I wanted Carl to step up, and he stepped up in a big way in the mid-season finale when he's talking with Negan on the wall, and Negan's saying, like, somebody's got to die, you know, and he goes, kill me. Like, Carl, what are you talking about? So the way he just handled the Saviors when they invaded Alexandria was just phenomenal. I loved how he did it. And then you got to the end of the episode where everybody is hiding in the sewers, and there's poor Carl sitting there, sweating. His father comes up to him, and he lifts up his shirt, and you see the bite. Oh. Why? Why did you do this? Like, yeah, I've never been the biggest Carl fan, but he was starting to be useful in this situation. Like, if you killed him off in season 3, I wouldn't have cared. But now that he's actually stepping up and taking charge and doing something resourceful, it's like, no! Really? You know, no. So I'm hoping that this is all a big swerve and, like, maybe Carl is immune to the Walker outbreak. Wouldn't that be a twist? But then it's going to be like, you can't kill him. And he dies. No, you can't kill him. Carl's immune. We all saw it coming. So we're going to have to see where the second half of the season takes us with this. I don't like where this is going. A lot of people have just been so turned off by this. I'm going to keep watching, but we'll see, honestly. I'm too invested now. I can hell, you know. I got my own Lucille bat, so. And the final thing we talked about on the first High Five episode is that there's going to be all-out war, and there definitely was. From the raid on the sanctuary to Negan and Rick's fight inside Rick's house, in Alexandria, we did see all-out war, and I think that's going to continue on through the second half of the season. It's only just begun, really, because you saw the coordinated attack on the Sanctuary, and then you saw in this episode the Savior's retaliation. You knew it was coming, but you didn't know when it was going to happen, and then they struck. Negan, he hit Alexandria. Another one of his cronies hit the kingdom. Then you had that slimebag Simon taking Jerry and holding him hostage, telling Maggie, you're going to go back to Hilltop. You're going to start growing for us because we're going to have people moving into Hilltop, or we're going to have people moving into the kingdom. So the war is not over. We're just in halftime right now. And we have to wait until February for The Walking Dead to return. That way we can find out how all this plays out. I'm not a patient person. I can be sometimes, but when it comes to this, no, I got to find out what happens. What's going to happen to Carl? Is this going to send Rick into an even... Because you saw how he reacted after Lori died in season 3. Yeah, you saw him just delve into madness, and that's going to happen with his son because he loves Carl with all his heart. What's going to happen with Maggie being in charge in Hilltop? What's going to happen with Morgan just peeking in on Ezekiel there after he chained up the door with Shiva's chain? Oh, Shiva, I miss you, girl. So I cannot wait until The Walking Dead returns. We're going to see how the rest of the season plays out before I decide if I'm going to continue watching, honestly. Because a lot of people say, I'm going to stop watching, Well, I'm going to wait till this all plays out and see what happens before I say definitively. So, hurry up, February. I can't wait that long. I'm going to I'm going through withdrawals. Thank God I have Netflix. Thank God I have Shameless to watch. So that way that can tide me over until everything, because everything is going on mid-season break now. Criminal Minds is going on mid-season break. Riverdale's on mid-season break now. Oh, The Good Doctor is on mid-season break. This is why I like Netflix. There's no mid-season break. You can just watch I guess, because Riverdale is on Netflix, but it's also on the CW in the States. But we're talking about like original programming, like American Vandal, like Big Mouth, like Fuller House. Yeah, I watch Fuller House. Get bent. Shows like that. So thank God there's those in the meantime. I just started watching the original Trailer Park Boys. And I've been watching Trailer Park Boys out of the Park USA, which has been fantastic. Those 3 guys are just great. So anyway, that will wrap it up for this episode of The High Five. I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. What do you think is going to happen in the second half of The Walking Dead? Let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to share this video anywhere you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you'd like. Below, you're going to see a link to the Irish Bandit shop where you can pick up all your Irish Bandit merchandise, t-shirts, leggings, coffee mugs, travel mugs, stickers, whatever you desire. It's all there. I get a bit of a profit, but all the profit made is going to go towards this channel and making everything bigger and better for your viewing enjoyment. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload any new content or whenever I go live. The next live episode of Irish Bandit Revolution is coming up for the season finale in January. Coming up on Tuesday, I'm going to have Irish Bandit Revolution Very Bandit Christmas Part 3. And then I will be back in 2 weeks with another Redux, High Five Redux. We're going to be going back to the second episode where I talk about 5 theories I had about Riverdale. And we're going to see if any of those happened, and then we're just going to discuss about what's going to happen in the second half of the season. All right, until then, have a great week, and I'll catch you later for another High Five.